What's going on, friends? James Nguyen here with the Alpha Red Comic Channel, offering you an alternative to Super Bowl Sunday. We do this every week, guys. It's called the Sunday Night Draw Stream for a reason. Every Sunday, I try to get on here and draw something, whether it's straight from a blank page or sometimes, like today, I have it set up where I started the drawing already, and then we'll just finish it off, tight pencils, and then into the inks. And then some days I do the coloring with the markers. So, but yeah, I'm excited. You will get the score. I do have it set up where you'll be able to see the score of the Super Bowl right above my head. So, and it looks like the Philadelphia Eagles are running away with it here in the first quarter and into the second quarter. I think they're into the second quarter. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not a fan of either team. I have a lot of friends who are Philadelphia Eagle fans, but we'll just leave it at that. They're kind of annoying, but some of them employ me. So, what am I going to say? I'm not going to give them a hard time when they sign the checks, okay? So, but yeah. So if you saw what the thumbnail was, we're going to draw The Thing. I don't know if you guys caught the trailer for Fantastic Four. I had very, very low expectations for Fantastic Four. Not a fan of Pedro Pascal, just because I don't watch a lot of movies or entertainment, and the only thing that I saw him in was Wonder Woman and of course The Mandalorian. But he had a mask on the whole time, and it was just whatever. So I don't associate him with quality, and he actually was probably the worst part of the trailer. But I liked The Thing. So that's why we are going to be drawing The Thing. What's going on, Fong? Looks like all your old buddies are pretty happy right now with the Eagles. That's right. That's right. Fly, Eagles, fly. Almost halftime now. Woohoo. What's going on, Rod? Halftime with James. That's right. Hey, when I switch over to the draw stream, look at that. I'm looking out for you guys. You see that? That's the score right above my head there. But before we get started, guys, I just wanted to bring your attention to I'm the halftime show. That's awesome. That's awesome. Just a halftime commercial. It's not as funny as the other commercials you'll see, but I'm pretty proud of this new website. I've been working on it for a couple of weeks here. It's just alpharedcomic.com. Will now take you to a legit website. So it's somewhere that you can get to know a little bit more about me. You can go to Starcross Comics, order the books. I think you can do the books. Does this take you? Look at that. Look at that. I'm hitting buttons and stuff. So all good stuff. There's a couple of glitches in there, and I know about them. So if you want to bring it to my attention, I'd be happy to make sure that it's not an unknown glitch. All right. But yeah, we are going to jump right into it. Well, actually, we're not going to jump right into it. I'm going to talk about some things that I am enjoying right now. Some titles that I am enjoying. I'm enjoying King Cryptid from Alterna Comics. Sorry, Pete. Alterna Comics. And look at this. Check this out. I forgot because he does it so far in advance. I don't want to say he does it so far in advance, but here it is. In this issue, there is an ad right there. Kabamski for Alpha Red. His ads are pretty affordable, and I can't tell if it's working or not, but I just did get the crowdfunding reward here from Alterna Comics just last week, and I've read 2 of them. Excellent. King Cryptid 5 and 6 I've read, and they are excellent. So I do recommend them, and you will see Alpha Red advertisements in them. So another one, I wanna shout out my man Kerry King and his Phantom Lion from Starcross Comics. Issue number 2 just came out. Looks fantastic. Actually, I've read them both. I bought this in his original campaign, and then I also supported him in the previous campaign, and it came with a cool chibi version. He sent me a chibi version. I don't know if I paid for it or not, but he's extremely generous, and I assume that's Kerry signing that. And more cool Starcross comics came in like the same day, like 2 different shipments. One was UPS, the other one was United States Postal Service. But I was like overwhelmed with Starcross comics. Super good stuff. I still haven't dug into Sword of the Justice Knights with the Tradian Justice, but it looks fantastic. My man Ralph does that. And Tin Soldier, if you guys have not picked up Tin Soldier, good stuff from Starcross. This I got like last week. Read that. But that, guys, is what I am reading. And then I show you a little quick sneak peek before we get into the man of the hour. This is page 1 of issue number 7. There are spoilers. I'm not going to talk about it. So you know, you make out what you think is happening, and we'll just leave it at that. But pretty happy about how these pages are coming out, and I think I want to do them all in pencil first. I know that first page is in inks, but I think I'm going to do it all in pencil first, and then go back and ink them all, so that I am consistent with what I'm doing. What's going on, Ernest? King Cryptid is awesome. It is, no doubt. Fong also says, if the Eagles win, I hope your employers give you a raise. They treat me pretty good, bro. They do treat me pretty good. Just a little less heat on the back of my neck. That's all a guy is asking for. That's all I'm asking. All right, the man of the hour, Mr. Ben Grimm, The Thing. So, what did you guys think of the Fantastic Four trailer? Now that it's halftime, we can discuss the goods, the bads, the uglies. No Mr. Fantastic powers being represented there. So I was a little disappointed. I was curious to see how they were going to do it, what it was going to look like. But like I said, the thing that I was most impressed with was The Thing. So, what are your thoughts? Do you care? Are you guys fans of the Fantastic Four? I am not. I am not a fan of the Fantastic Four. I am not a fan of the Fantastic Four. I don't want to say that I have something against them, but for me, it is not one of those ones that ever captured my attention, except for those for maybe that one year, The Heroes Reborn, where Jim Lee was handling it. I think he handled the first 6 issues or so with the pencils, and then he dropped off, I believe. You can correct me if I'm wrong there. Let's see. Anybody weighing in? It looks better than the last movie. Yep. I didn't mind the last movie. Like I said, when the IP is not a favorite of mine, I don't mind that they mess around with it a little bit, because I don't really notice a difference, even though they turn Johnny Storm and their dad black. And so that's weird. That was a little, like, I don't know. I guess that did kind of throw me off. But I didn't mind the story. Didn't think it was that bad. All right, I already don't like that. So with his rock formation, I'm trying to keep with the same mindset I used when I I built a stone wall. Actually, I've built 2 stone walls, stone masonry type things, and they turned out pretty good. And the philosophy was that you do like a couple of really big rocks somewhere, and then you take the smaller guys, and then you kind of just fill them in, and it seems to work pretty good. But let's see. Let's see anybody weighing in on it. One more E. Ernest says, the thing looks good in the trailer, but the voice is off. Yeah, there's no gravelly. It's definitely supposed to be deeper. And I don't think any of the actors are good looking. So I don't know if you guys feel like I'm wrong. Like the girl is supposed to be attractive, and I don't think so. I think my camera did it freeze. There it is. Like I talk with my hands, and then the camera picks it up. Yeah. So the voice of the thing could be deeper, could be gravelier. You know, like he smokes cigars, right? Funk says, Eagles touchdown before the halftime. All right, look at that. Yep, you see it right above me. Right there. See, I keep the score on here for you guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking out for you guys. I think the cast in general is not a good fit. Yeah. Thing does look good. So I did hear some complaints about like the mouth. Like his mouth isn't as animated as it should be. But I mean, I don't think it would be very, very animated. It shouldn't be very, very animated because he's Rock. I like when he's clapping and it's not like a clap sound. It's like rocks coming together. So I do like that part of it. But I am going to draw. I'm not beholden to any particular outfit for the thing. So I'm just going to use the Marvel Rivals. What I saw of the Marvel Rivals version. Because I didn't mind it. Like I said last week, like the cuts are different. Like how it's designed, it's kind of different. As if AI designed it. Just because it's very asymmetrical. And even though the thing doesn't have very much to be asymmetrical about, they managed to make the design element in his belt a little off. So I don't know. So are you guys excited for the commercials? I hear the commercials are gonna be funny. They're back to being funny. They're not afraid to be funny anymore. I'm looking forward to watching those tomorrow. Obviously, I'm not watching it tonight. My wife is very anti-NFL. Just because she knows what a waste of time it has become for my family. Not me and my kids, but my brothers and sisters. They are very preoccupied with it. I bet you they've got a full-fledged party going on right now. And I can't blame them. Cannot blame them. Let's see, still 24 zip. So have you guys ever heard that the NFL, like all the sports games, the professional sports games and stuff, are rigged? They're more like WWF. You know, it's kind of pre-planned who's going to win and who's going to lose. And they kind of let them play it a little bit, but ultimately they know who wins and who loses and who's going to be in the Super Bowl, like right from the beginning of the season. Have you guys ever heard of that? So, like, if you're looking at the score right now and you say what would be the most dramatic way, the most dramatic thing that could happen during this game. Like if it's a blowout, it's not going to be memorable. Nobody's going to be talking about it. Everybody's just going to laugh at the Kansas City Chiefs for getting there and blowing it. But wouldn't it be more dramatic if they came from behind, they didn't score in the first half, and then they come back and they win it in the fourth quarter? Isn't that how the Eagles won it against the Patriots? Sorry about that. Or was it who did that? Was it the Patriots against Atlanta a couple years ago? Remember Atlanta was like way ahead going into halftime, and then the Patriots came out. Was it the Patriots? Are they in the different divisions? I don't know much about Atlanta, so I don't know if they're NFC, AFC. Let's see. Your wife is 100% correct. It's not worth it. Ernest, weighing in, brother man. Funk says, refs are surprisingly calling penalties on the Chiefs. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Maybe they're waiting for the right bribes to come during halftime, and then surprisingly they'll start going the Chiefs' way. Ernest says, them rigging the game is possible. KC had a clear violation earlier, and they called it against the Eagles. Yeah. That was Patriots coming back against Atlanta. Yeah. That was pretty dramatic. I felt bad for Atlanta fans, boy. I mean, they were looking like they had it in the bag. All right, guys, we are ready for some inks. What do you think? So as I was looking at some images of the thing preparing for this, what I wanted to do was create some contrast. So this over here is just going to be mostly black right here. Like his arm is going to be pushed back because of the blacks. And then right here underneath his ribs are going to be mostly black. There'd be a little bit of, I'll leave a little bit of color in here. But obviously the light will come down here. But then most of this leg will be black. This is what the plan is anyway. And I gotta remember he has 4 toes, not 3, because I made him with 3, and then I kept looking back and there are 4 toes there. And then we'll do like a shadow here for the knee, and then that'll be pretty much it. And then this will have a little bit of shadow here, but this arm will be coming forward, and that's supposed to add a bunch of contrast. So we shall see. We shall see. What's going on, Jagran? How you doing, man? Are you watching the Super Bowl, or are you just you're just ignoring it like my family is? Although I did do this for anybody who cares. I put the score up there for you guys. I'm getting better with the OBS. I don't think I had any mess ups this time around. Watch, it'll crash. The whole internet thing will crash. Let's go for it, guys. Let's go for it. What do you think? Is that a good, ominous, he's coming at you kind of pose? And again, I gotta remember that I want energy. I don't want it stagnant. I don't want to be holding my breath and making sure that I have these nice long smooth lines, which is not hard to do because the thing has very few long straight lines. So the hard part is going to be keeping it as rocky as possible without looking like there's a pattern going on. Funk says, Marvel told Stan Lee to make a superhero team after DC made the Justice League, so he made the Fantastic Four. That's right. I've heard that because they had single characters up until then, and then they did Justice League, and that's something that we tend to forget, I think. Like, they were just trying to sell comic books. We want to make it seem like they were like in love with these characters and they had all these ideas in their heads and they were ready to go or whatever. But they were just trying to part young people from their money. And so they just rolled with the punches. Anybody who had an idea that was selling, the other guys would copy. And I know we give DC a hard time about copying everything Marvel does. Better or for worse, they seem to do that. But that's what they always did. That's what movies do. That's what a lot of entertainment stuff does, because all these people are just making money. That's all they are supposed to do. It's just confusing when they add all the DEI stuff in, because that doesn't make sense, because it doesn't make money. And that's not their priority, and that's not the priority of the directors and the writers that they hire when that's their objective, is to socially engineer how we think and how we see things. Let's see, not quite what they were asking for, but it worked. That's right. I know it's a lot of people's favorite comic, not mine, but I just always thought that Mr. Fantastic was weird. Hang on a second. I got a stink bug. A stink bug just tried to attack me. I don't know if it went across the camera or not, but let me see. I'm gonna tape him in here for now. I don't know if you guys have stink bugs where you're at, but boy, in the winter time, I don't know where they live. I don't know what they eat, but stink bugs come out of the curtains, and they're like the dumbest flyers. They can't fly. They run into stuff. All right, no more stink bug. No more stink bug. So you guys excited? Do you guys like how they rolled it out, the trailer? Did that create enough buzz for you? I know that I did not know anything about it. I found out about it like that afternoon. Not afternoon, but like lunchtime, when I went to watch some of my normal lunchtime YouTube commentators. They were all talking about it, and they were all talking about how they were waiting for it at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock or whatever, and they had to wait for an hour. But it sounded like they were trying to make it a big to-do. And I guess I got a lot of people to watch and commentate, comment, make videos about it, and that's what you want. You want that buzz, especially if you're thinking that you got something good. Like I said, I liked it, but I had such low expectations. Like, I like that it's kind of a retro. I don't know how or why I don't know how that's going to work with the rest of the MCU, but I'm not worried about that. I think too many people are worried how it all fits together. And it's really cool that it fits together if you can make it work. I don't need it to all fit together. I mean, Endgame was awesome, but it's not necessary. I just would rather have a good movie than something that was made to be a part of something else. I don't know what you guys feel about that. Ernest says, yes, they like to come inside when it's cold. Let me see. I don't know what that's in response to. I forgot to look up, and I might my stream of thought has left me for whatever that comment was for. Ernest, I apologize. So random is really hard. Like, for me anyway. I know some people thrive on like thinking outside the box, and for me, I like patterns, and I like symmetry. So when I'm drawing something like the thing here, it's kind of hard for me to think like all these little variations between like the rocks and what will make that look good, what have other artists done before to make it look cool. And make it look like a humanoid rock. And so just trying to think through like the principles of like foreshortening, is that right? Like all these little rocks that would normally come together like a big pattern like this. If you start rolling it and turning it, it would start creating like other kinds of shadows and textures and stuff, like patterns. But it's gotta still look organic and random. Like I was saying, random is just not as easy, because for me anyway, I automatically kind of go back to some kind of a pattern. Jogron says, oh yeah, stink bug. Yeah. The stink bugs do like to come inside. Yeah. Jogron says, well, I finally caught the Thunderbolts Super Bowl trailer. It's kind of to me. I thought that the ones that they've had so far are so cheesy, and they just seem to get worse and worse. Like I know that it's supposed to be kind of jokey because it's the MCU, but like, does the Captain America guy have to be like a buffoon, and the Russian girl, does she have to be so good at whatever it is she does that she makes it look so easy, and I don't know, it's not believable to me because she looks tiny, and she's supposed to be so good at everything, blowing things up, and just I don't buy it. I don't know. Is it just me? I know she's in a lot of stuff, and I liked her when she first came around, the actress, but it seems like she's gotten bigger than what what her talent level is. I don't know if I'm being too critical. I don't. She's pretty, but she's not like really pretty. She acts okay, but she's not. I don't know. Am I way off? And nobody weighed in on Sue Storm. I don't think she's attractive. I said that to my comic shop guy, and I thought he was going to deck me. Apparently, he likes her. Apparently, he thinks that she's attractive. Like when she was in the Mission Impossible movie, I was just not. I was like, wow, there's something weird about her eyes and her mouth. Her mouth's too big or something. It's just my taste. Boom, 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 boom. Fox says you should add a word balloon above the thing saying it's clobbering time. Yeah, I wanted him to say it's clobbering time, and I can't hear it in the voice of the actor they have playing the thing. So that would be cool. I heard that it might be Galactus will destroy their universe and Fantastic Four travels over to the other universe where MCU is currently. Okay. I've heard that too, and I just don't know if I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that's not what's happening. It looks like they're trying to be Suicide Squad for Marvel. Yeah. I was not a fan of Suicide Squad for DC, so Mega Critical mode engaged. Bring down the heat on Alpha Red. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Juggernaut. Bring down the heat on Alpha Red. The girl Sue, is that what she's bringing? She's turning down the heat for me. Not doing it for me. I just maybe I'm being critical. Maybe I'm too critical. Like her eyes don't the acting of her eyes. Just not. I don't know. I'm too critical, maybe. Because I was critical of the Superman trailer, the initial Superman trailer. Are they supposed to have a Superman trailer for the Super Bowl? Does anybody know? I'd be looking forward to that. The Superman trailer grew on me as I watched it. But initially, because of Guy Gardner, he looked terrible, I think. I still think he looks terrible. But the acting of the bystanders just was a little not good to me. Just how they reacted to certain things was just not believable. And so I have that kind of feeling with Sue Storm, Invisible Woman. Like her eyes aren't acting the way I think that she should be acting. I don't know if that makes sense. Like they bug out. They're already big, and they bug out at weird times. I'm like, weird. But who am I? Who am I to judge? She's making millions, and it's because somebody's thinking she's good looking. Somebody thinks she's good looking. Galactus looks kind of small in the movie. I agree. Like I thought Galactus would be stomping on blocks and blocks. But he kind of just seems like a building. Like, all right, you're as big as a building. I thought you were as big as a small country. At least a big state. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the intergalactic stuff. I like the X-Men when they were in space, but I was never a Silver Surfer guy. I was never anything that was out in space, honestly. So when they did the Guardians of the Galaxy, I thought it was going to flop. I was like, oh my goodness, that's the worst move for the MCU. And I guess when it's in the right hands, you can make some magic. Yeah, so the cut for his belt is what makes it weird. The design on the Marvel Rivals Things belt is just not symmetrical. So that throws it off for me. It's not a big deal because he's mostly rock. So, not a big deal. What's a deal? Still 24-0. Is it halftime? Is that what, let me see. Man being critical of girl facial features bring down the heat. You're gonna burn down. I like the crypto showing up part. Yeah, that was the coolest part. Well, not the coolest part. The coolest part is where he saves the girl. But I knew about crypto being in it. I think a lot of people were surprised about the crypto being in the movie. So, but it was cool to see. Chagrin says, it sounds like you were funneling some Rachel Ziegler there. Weird. Yep. The problem is it's going to be in not 95% of creators' hands in Hollywood right now. Yep. It's halftime now. Kendrick Lamar is performing. So now I put you on my TV. Yeah, so I don't even know who Kendrick Lamar is. That's how far out of mainstream entertainment I am. So it's got to break through pretty deep for me to know who people are. You know, sometimes it surprises me how long people stick around. Like Taylor Swift. Like I thought she was going to be gone by now. But not so. All right. So I'm going to keep it loose with the thinner marker here. The brush pen. And then I'm going to come back in. Got to keep that fourth toe here because I did not know he had 4 toes. And then when I come in with a thicker pen, that's when we add all that contrast that I'm talking about. The contrast and the energy, the lines, the rendering that is a little bit more energetic, whereas I typically have a pretty clean inking style, typically, but I've been inked by JC Grande, and he inked it with a lot of energy. And so I dug it. Digged it. So that's what I'm trying to capture in my own style. The energy, so because he is not me, obviously, he didn't pick up on some of the cues that I was putting into my artwork. And if you weren't me, you would not probably notice some of the things that I put in that he did not highlight or that he missed. But his stuff was so good that it didn't matter. You know, that's part of why you hire an inker to kind of make it level up a little bit. So I didn't mind it so much. But I just want to see if I can capture all those little textures and things that I had intended when I am drawing, because I'm always thinking about that. I'm thinking about shadows. I'm thinking about textures and how to render things in a visually interesting way. It's always a work in progress. So you always want to be trying new techniques, like whatever is appealing to you out there is something that you should be trying. Because it doesn't hurt. It does not hurt to try. So the random rocks, killing me. It's killing me. Like my brain just wants to create a pattern, make something symmetrical. So I've got to fight that urge. To make it symmetrical. I mean, maybe some guys really enjoy the asymmetrical aspect of drawing the thing, but man, I don't know that I would enjoy it if I were called upon to do the FF. So what do you guys think of I know a lot of people were talking about Rob Liefeld and him getting snubbed for the Deadpool Wolverine. Did you guys read anything on that? Did you guys, what do you guys think? Is he just whining? Is he justified in what he's saying? How does it ring to you guys? Are you Liefeld fans? Does that color how you received what his experience was? You know, and he's a creator who has a good deal. It sounds like he has a pretty good deal with Deadpool and Cable and those characters, whereas a lot of other creators did not fight for their right to have a little piece of their IP, the characters that they created while they were at Marvel and DC. So he at least has some skin in the game, or benefit financially at least, as they move forward. But all he's looking for is credit. Like, our creators do the credit that he's asking for? Like, we all, I don't know if you can remember the intro to Superman, where Joel Schuster, Joe Schuster, where their names appear, you know, it just made sense to me. I mean, I can see it now, I can picture it now, but that makes plenty of sense to me. Make sure we got a big old shadow going here. And I'm going to go in with the next brush pen up and really add some of this contrast. And see if I can't make it pop. Funk says, how do you feel about Rob Liefeld not wanting to be associated with Marvel now? That'd be hard. You know, I was trying to listen for the tone in his voice. And I want to say that I detected some, like, really some sadness about it, you know, and I know I would too, because he has love for the characters, but I mean, the IP is owned by people who just don't care. Like, they didn't create it, and they don't have the same passion about those characters and things. And ultimately, you know, that's what they were created by people, but they were created for a company who's just trying to sell stuff. And it really means more to us than it ever meant to the companies that owned it. So in that way, I just feel bad overall, just especially when it's kind of shoved in your face like that, the way that they treated him. And you just say, okay, you know, they don't owe him anything. You know, that was not the agreement. And that's just going to be part of it. But yeah, I don't, you know, to each their own. Like, he says he's not going to, but if the leadership at Marvel changed, Kevin Feige was out, I think he could be persuaded to do more work there. So, wow. So is the game back on, or are they just battling it out? Is it? Oh, I was gonna use the bigger brush. I forgot. I was gonna use the bigger brush. It saves time too. Like when you start using the bigger brush, because you can add texture much faster by just pressing down harder, and you get that extra texture. Where with the thinner brush, they're harder, so the tip doesn't bend as easily, so you get more of a steady line, and that's good for some instances, but sometimes you want the organic look of the brush, the different line weights that a brush that is a little softer can bring. Because I think the eye just wants that random organic line, as opposed to the mechanical line that comes from your rapidograph pen, like your Pigma Micron. So there's something to be said about your eye, I think, being drawn to a line weight that is a little bit more varied. I think there's an understanding of organicness. Jogron says thing is good looking. Wait till you see Sue. What's going on? Hetet, you're gonna have to teach us all how to pronounce your name. H-T-E-T. Hetet. Is that? Hopefully that doesn't offend you. That we cannot pronounce Hetet, unless it's just backwards for something. Am I missing? Yog. Tech. Nope. Wog. But yeah. Wait till you see Sue. So, are we gonna get a new Superman trailer during the Super Bowl? Is that a promise? That's something that DC has put out there. James Gunn. What's going on, Jay Scott? Happy Super Bowl to you. This is my alternative programming. I remember my wife was so annoyed when the Super Bowl would come on. There'd be nothing else to watch. Nobody would counter program with girl stuff or just normal stuff. So this is counter programming. Fong says, I think if you're a creator, you have to be aware of what it means to create characters in a big corporate company setting. Yep, for sure. I think he gets that, but like the snubbing, I don't know. And he's got an ego. So, and the bigger the ego, the farther he can push the creation. So, part of why I think some of these characters are so big is because his personality is big. And so anything associated with him gets more eyeballs. And so it's partly popular because of him. So I think that's what he's hurt about when they ignore him. But, I don't know if I'd be hurt or not. Yeah, and you have to understand that when you're creating that, you're doing that under that under their banner, and I think that was just the understanding back then. We didn't have an image. We didn't have a robust indie scene where creators had a way to get their own creations in front of a lot of eyeballs. So it wasn't until Image that they were able to kind of break out of what the corporate companies were able to do in the superhero space. So, see, Jogron says, well, you got to have something right now. The game itself is not having much going on competitively. That's right. But they'll come back. If you believe that these sports things are unscripted, what do they call it? What am I trying to say, guys? Like those TV shows, those unscripted TV shows, but it's like Duck Dynasty and stuff. They're not like really real because they have producers and they have certain lines that you're supposed to try to hit. Gosh, I'm blanking. You hit 50 guys and your brain just goes to mush. Like the Real World on MTV, what are those kind of shows called? But if you believe that that the sports that they give us is like the WWE, like it's just entertainment, but it is programmed. It's already planned out. So the most dramatic thing would be to have them go into halftime with 0 on the board, and then they can come all the way back. And all the little Swifties will lose their minds. Or maybe Taylor Swift wants to break up with her Kansas City guy. And this will be the reason she does it. He'll break up with her because he's so sad that he lost a Super Bowl. He didn't get yet another Super Bowl ring. I don't know. I'm just goofing. That is something that I've heard in the conspiracy theory arena, because they consider these sports teams and stuff like gladiator games. It kind of keeps the masses placated. We're more submissive and obedient and less ornery when we're distracted by like these gladiator games. And we don't have anything like the gladiator games where they kill each other, but these guys are pretty close to killing each other on the field. So keeps our rebellious side at bay so that the government can do whatever the government wants to do. And we're too busy talking about what the games, what the score of the games are and stuff. Reality TV. Thank you, Fong. My man, coming up with the words. Reality TV. That's what the accusation is from some people, that all these sports things are just reality TV. And it's all planned out. And they have us figured out that what will keep us the most busy and keep us the most distracted so that we don't complain about them stealing all our money and giving it to other countries and all that USAID nonsense that was being paid for. Who was getting that money? Who was getting that money? Hunter? Was it Hunter? Where's Hunter? Funk says, I was telling my friends that out of all the guys Taylor Swift has dated, Travis Kelce is the first real man she's dated. So this one might actually work. Right. But then she's going to have to change all her songs. You know, she can't boo-hoo about all the breakups. Actually, that's just what I hear. I mean, I don't even know enough about her to know if that's true or not. That all her songs are about breakup, but that's how far out I am, guys. I'm out. Got comics to draw. Alpha Reds to draw. All right. Gonna get an even bigger pen. Ooh, I forgot this guy was. Oh yeah, his whole arm was gonna be like mostly dark. So I'll put in like a little bit of texture here, but for the most part, I want to keep this whole arm in the dark to add that contrast. And I'll get a bigger guy that has an even softer tip that will bring out an even supposed to like kind of vomit the ink out here and make my life a little easier, but maybe that's drying up. Let's try his brother. Try his brother. Right there. All right. He's a little bit juicier than the last guy. Not by much, but definitely can feel the ink moving faster. This is what I wanted to get at here. Oh, yeah. Not good. This guy is usually pretty good. So Funk says, I'm digging the shadows on the rock body. The body, lots of energy. Awesome. So let's see if I can keep it going. Oh, look at that. Look at the ink flowing there. Here we go. Something to be said about like a normal brush and ink. If you're just dipping it, it's always, it's coming. Whereas with these pens, they're convenient, less mess. But when they die, you just don't know when. Always at an inconvenient time, I promise. So I don't know if you guys can see. I'm pretty happy that it's kind of pushing that leg back so it makes everything else move forward. We'll go back into his arm over there and see if we can't make some of those little lines go away. There we go. So that it's a little bit more intentional looking. Kapowski. Still 24-0, huh? Are they back? Is the game back on? Is the game back on? All right, let's see if we can keep that energy going into here. I'm going to keep that even darker. Keep that even darker. Just like little hints, like when I leave these little white spots here. It's supposed to be the highlight from the light source coming down, hitting it. Doesn't always work, but what do you guys think? Did it work? Did it push that leg back? I'm going to push this back over here. Make that go like that. And add a little bit over this. Over there. Kaboomski. Oh, it is 9 o'clock. Guys, I appreciate you hanging out with me. If you haven't already hit that like button, please hit that like button. If you're not already subscribed, I hope that we can hang out again. And the best way to do that is hit that subscribe button. And we can hang out together next week where you can suggest. Oh, I did, Jogron, I did check out the Malice outfit for Sue Storm. Wowzers. It is very different than what I thought it was. So maybe one day, someday, we can do the Malice, Sue Storm Malice outfit. I did draw a entry for Rob Liefeld's art contest for this week, for Tuesday, the 11th. The character is Divinity. It is Evangeline's sister. And I don't have it handy. It's across the room, or else I'd show you. I forgot that I did that. But guys, thank you for hanging out. You can now enjoy the Super Bowl uninterrupted by my my stupid chatter. All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out. We'll see you guys again next week. Check out alpharedcomic.com. Check out that new website. And I'll see you guys next week. Till then, grace and peace. Hitting the outro with the lyrics for Ernest.
From the shadows he rises with courage in his heart, a beacon of hope. He's ready to start with faith as his armor and a fire in his soul. Alpha Red stands tall, fulfilling his role. Alpha Red, the hero we need, with the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread, for the world is safe with Alpha Red. Red. In a world full of chaos, finishes his mission and work. Guided by God with strength from above, he battles the darkness with unyielding love. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red, Alpha Red. When the night seems too long and hope seems so far, look to the skies, you'll see his bright star. With a prayer and a promise, he faces the fight. Alpha Red shines through, the beacon of light. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red. So stand tall with courage, let your faith lead the way. With Alpha Red beside us, we'll see a brighter day. For evil may tremble, but never forget, the world is protected by our hero, Alpha Red. Alpha Red. Alpha Red.